You can see the app running in 3 different platforms, and these 3 screens have totally different screen configuration basically. But still you can see the ultimate feel of all of these apps running on different devices is the same. And that's what we are looking for. We are going to make this sort of design or this sort of conversion that looks absolutely same in all of the devices, and it should be scalable if like we have the device having larger resolution or smaller resolution. All the components should scale themselves to look as great as possible. Hello friends, I'm Aftab from Easy Approach, and in this video we are going to discuss some magical tricks and tips that you can use in order to convert your Figma or your design or your UI into real Flutter app. And you can make it responsive and you can make it pixel perfect just using a single package. Before I discovered this package, I had to write a lot of boilerplate code. But you can avoid a lot of boilerplate code just using a single package, and it will work for you like magic. So before implementing it, I would like you to subscribe my channel if you really want to learn Flutter with Easy Approach. And I've created many videos specifically on state management that's so easy to understand, and you can just click on the link that's appearing at the top of the screen. And I've also created some latest videos in 2021 that are so useful, and you just have to click on the link and then you can just watch the videos. Anyways, let's begin with the thing that we have done already to save the time. So first of all, these are few of the variables that I have declared, and these are basically the colors that we are going to use in the application. And if I can show you the design that we are going to convert from Figma into the real app. So this is basically a simple design that I choose as example to convert from Figma into the real app because we want to test a package that we are going to discuss in this video. Anyways, so this is basically the design, and we want to make it pixel perfect. We want to convert it into the real app, and it should be responsive. So first of all, this design has a single font, which is Nunito, and it's actually a Google font. So basically for having the Google fonts in the application, I have used this Google Fonts 2.1.0, and you just have to use the latest one. And simply you just have to add this package into your pubspec.yaml file. And the second thing, which is the primary thing, and that's the reason why we are discussing everything, is this Flutter _ screen util package. This is basically, it will help us to implement the design responsively, and we can make pixel perfect conversion from Figma to Flutter using this package. And if I can briefly discuss how it actually works, like if you suppose if you don't have this package and if you want to implement the design, and if you exactly do the same design in a Flutter app, if you specify the same sizes, like the same font sizes, the same padding, and everything same in the Flutter app, and you just play on the application, it may not necessarily look the same unless the screen configuration on which the app running matches this screen configuration that we have on Figma. And which is not the case always. Since we have this Figma design is just designed on a single screen configuration, and in the world we have a lot of different devices having different sizes and different dimensions. But you can solve this issue using the package which we are discussing, Flutter _ screen util. This basically primarily works on converting the specific sizes into the ratio-based sizes, and then it maps the ratio-based sizes on the screen configuration on which your app is running. It may sound a little bit confusing, but you will get it once we start implementing this. So let's start implementing it. So first of all, the very first thing which we have to do is we have to initialize this Flutter _ screen util package. And by initializing, I mean we have to specify the size configuration of Figma so that the package can later on map the sizes on the device that on which the app will be running. So how we can configure, how we can set up this package. So for setting up, you just have to wrap your material app into Flutter screen util init. So this is how you should be initializing it. So we just have to wrap this thing into a widget, and the widget name will be screen util init. And rather than using child, you have to use the builder and this arrow notation. And after the builder, you have design size. And over here, we have to specify the exact screen configuration of the Figma basically you are following. So basically we are following this screen. We have to make exactly this screen. So this is the whole container. And this is, you can see this is 360 by 640. So the height is 640 and the width is 360. So you can simply specify here constant size object, and you can say 360 comma 640. So this is what you have to do initially just to make sure this is exactly the same. So 360 and 640. So this is the first step you have to do in order to work with this package. So after initializing, you can rerun the app and then we can move on to the design. So you can see the design is pretty simple. We have some widgets in vertical direction. So basically for implementing this sort of layout, we need to use column widget so that we can hold these widgets in a vertical direction. And that's basic simple how you basically and simply design or create layouts in Flutter. So anyways, what we can do initially in the scaffold, I can use a column widget. And in the column widget, we will have children, and I want all the children to start from the left of the column widget. So we can over here specify the cross-axis alignment. That's basically the basics of Flutter, and you should know all these things. And then inside it, we can specify or we can define our first child of this whole layout. So first of all, in the design, we have this text, which is a simple text having some properties like text size 18 pixels and the height and the weight is 700. So first of all, let's just simply copy this and let's create a text widget and simply just paste this, and let's refresh the page so that you can see the text. You can see it's coming at the very top, and there are a few things. We have a common padding for the screen that we have to assign. So you can see the horizontal padding is 24, width is 24 pixels, and also if I can see over here, so basically it's symmetric, and both of the side we have to give 24 pixels of padding. So what I can do, I can simply wrap this column widget into a padding widget, and I can specify the padding. And now there is interesting thing how basically you should work with the Flutter Screen Util package. So instead of you first have to say horizontal, or instead of saying just 24, you should be saying 24.w. So this is not just 24, but it is width base 24 pixels. So it will basically calculate the ratio of 24 and the total, and it will basically divide the 24 to the total width, and will get the factor, which is the ratio factor, and this will be used later on also on the different screen configuration. So anyways, whenever you have to specify the size, if you are specifying the horizontal size, you have to add this .w, and whenever you are specifying the vertical size, you have to add .height or .h basically. So if I refresh it, you can see now we have some horizontal padding, and since it's at the top, so we cannot really see. So what I can do, I can just simply wrap this padding widget into safe area so that it comes after the notification tray. So now you can really see that the horizontal padding that we have provided is exactly the same that we have on the Figma. Now let's style this text, since it has some properties in the Figma. So you can see that in the text we have the 700 weight and the 18 pixels of the text size. So simply you can just specify a style like you do normally, and in the size Rather than saying it 18, you should be saying 80 18.sp. So sp is the scaling factor, and we normally use this with the text sizes when you are using this package. So it is basically scalable size, and it will be different in all of this screen dimension based on the ratio. So this is the first thing. So if I refresh it, you can see now it's significantly bigger in size, and it's actually matching with the Figma. And we also have to change the weight of it, which is 700. So if I refresh it, so this is the basically size, sorry, the weight. Also, we have a color which is dark text color. So we can use this color. Now the second component that we have in the application or in the design, or the very first thing which we actually have missed, there is a space, vertical space also in the design, and it's basically of 53 or 52 we can say, because I think it is 52. So we will keep it 52. So let's have vertical space of 52 pixels before this heading. So for having the vertical spacing, we can simply use size box, and we can just specify the height. So size box, and you can just simply say height, and it's 52.h. Since it's vertical space, so we have to add .h to make it responsive. So if I refresh it, you can see the vertical space before the sign up to masterminds. Anyways, let's copy this again, and we have another text afterwards, which is basically a subtitle. So simply you can copy the text, and there is some change of the properties like the text color and also the size of the font. So it is 14 and text color is different. So first of all, let's copy this, and the size is 14. It's 600, and then we have light color. Yeah, and there's also in vertical, in between of these two texts, there's a 4 pixels of the space. So simply we can just say again size box, and we can specify vertical, horizontal, vertical space by using height, and you can just simply say .h, 4.h. That looks fine. And since this has some different color in it also, so rather than just using text, we can wrap this into wrap widget, and we can have multiple texts instead. Sorry, we have to wrap it in column, and then we can change from column to wrap. You can also use raw widget for this. And you can simply just say login over here. You can remove login from here, and you can just change the color, and it will be purple color, and it's more highlighted, so it's 700. Yeah, that looks great. So after this, these two headings and subheading, we have a text field, and in between we have 24 pixels of vertical spacing. So let's add the 24 pixels of vertical spacing. You can just simply copy and paste the size box, and you can just say 24, and here we go. We have spacing. We cannot see obviously right now unless we have the text field. So let's create a text field, and there's some basic decoration of this text field. So let's quickly do the decoration stuff. The border, outline, input border. We basically have a border radius dot circular, and let's see how much we have to specify the radius. You can see I have chosen this one, and you can see that it is 8 pixels of the corner radius. So in this, how we actually have to specify the radius time, we have to use 8.r, not just 8, but we have to also add this r. So this is basically the border, and we have to specify the border side. And we don't have any color, so you can just say transparent, and width should be 0. You can just go with the transparent, not specifying the width. That will be okay also. And also in the enable border, you also have to have these things. That's fine. And then we have filled. So yeah, it is filled, and we have to specify the fill colors. So we have a text field color specified already, and we can use. So let's refresh it and see how it comes on the screen. Yeah, so you can see it's here, but since it's light in color, so you can hardly see it. So let's add the hint also. So right now you can say is it first name, and now you can it's obvious. You can see the text field prominently. Also, we have the padding. We have a specific padding for the text field in the design. You can see the horizontal padding is 16 and the vertical is 14. So let's add these two as well. So edge inset dot symmetric. The horizontal padding is 16, so it is width based, so 16.w, and then the vertical is 14.h. And if I refresh it, you can see the change in the size also. Anyways, we have to also specify the hint text style, since it has some common style. So for the hint style, we can just simply say hint style, and then we can see basically it's 14 pixels in size and then 400. Okay, so it will be also text style, and then the size will be 14.sp, and the weight will be 400. Yeah, that's fine. So if I refresh it, you can see I can't see any change, but it will be visible when you have some different screen configuration. Anyway, since we require a lot of different text fields, so it's better to make it as a function that returns these text fields. So I'm going to create a function that will return a widget get text field. And since the only different right now so far we have the hint, so let's add required string hint, and then you can return the text field. You just have to change in the first name, you just have to write hint, and you can simply reuse this function many times. So let's add this, and you can just have to specify, you can just say first name, or rather you can say it full name, and then you can have another this text field, another one, because we have total 4. So the second one is the email address, or you can just say email, and then we have the password, and then we have a confirm password. So we basically have 4 text fields separated with a vertical space of how much? It's 16 pixels. So we have to use in between of the text fields, we have to use size box with 16.h value. And then we have a button. So let's refresh this. So now you can see we have different text fields, and now we have to make the button. So now let's create the button. So for the button, we have to use text button. It was later on, it was actually before it was the recent upgrade, it was flat button, but now it is text button. Not sure why they made it so complicated. Anyways, so we have the text button, and we have to specify tags in it. So you can, the tags in it is create account. So if I refresh it, you can see the button, but it's not how it should look like. So first of all, we have to specify the styling. And to specify the styling, we have button style and we have the properties. So first of all, let's specify the background color. And for specifying it, we have to do something strange. Material state property dot all, and then inside it you can specify the color. And the color, which is the background color, it's the purple color. So the very first thing is this, and then we have the foreground color, which will be the text color. So you can just simply say colors dot white, since the background, so the foreground will be white. And then we have the padding also. So for padding, still the same thing. We have to wrap the property value in the material state property dot all, and inside it you have to specify the padding. So it will be edge and sets dot all, and you have to use dot symmetry. Yep, this one. And then we have to see how much we have to specify the padding. So the thing which we have to really care about, because it's in center, so the only thing which we have to care about is the vertical padding. So it is 14. So you just have to specify the vertical, and you can say 14.h. And then you can refresh it. You can see it now in a bigger size. And since we want to have this button full width, so you can just simply wrap this text button. Can't see the bulb anyways, so you can just simply wrap in size box, and don't use for just wrapping purpose or for just specifying the size of the whole widget. You don't have to exactly use the container, since it takes more memory. So just use size box in this case, and you can just simply say width and double dot infinity, because I used to use the container in all the cases, but it's not optimized and it's not efficient when you use container just for specifying the width and height. Yeah, obviously when you have to specify the color and some properties, the decoration of the containers, obviously in that case you have to use the container. Anyways, so we have now we have this button. Also we have also the button text property also. I mean the styling of button. So you can say text style, and then material state property dot all, and then you have to specify the text style. And let's see what we have in the text style of it. So it's 14 pixels and 700 in weight. So you can just say size, and you can just say 14.sp, since it's a font size. And then the weight will be 700. Anyways, let's refresh it. So you can see it's now better and it's matching with the design. Now we have another component, which is these three widgets, which is the divider and then a text widget and then a divider. So let's first copy this text. And let's see also the styling, it's 614. So let's first create a raw widget, since we have three widgets. And then we have, first of all, we have divider. And another one, divider. In between, we have a text widget. So let's specify the text. And then we have styling also with this text. So let's copy this. And you can say styling. And it's actually, let's see what we have. So it's 614. So let's make it 500. I'm just reducing it because I think 600 is 500 will be more good. Okay. And also the color of this is the light color, light text color. So let's see how it's. Okay, basically we have to wrap these divider into expanded widget so that it can take the available size. And also the other one. So they will be equally in size, and in between we will have a text. And also there is in between, there is some space which is of 16. So let's add the 16 pixels of a space. So we have to use size box for it, and we can specify the width, and we can just use 16.w. And you can copy this thing, and we can also paste it here. Yep, now it's looking same. And there is also a space between the button and this, which is 16. So let's add another 16. You can copy this, and before the button, after the button, you have to add 16% pixels of vertical space. So you can see now no, it's not refreshed. Okay, so we have specified here the width. It should be height. Okay, that's working. And now we have another button. First of all, we have another spacing of 16 pixels. Yep, it's 16 or 18. Let's leave it 16 so that it will be like symmetric. So let's have the 16. And then we have another button. We can just copy this. However, there are some substantial differences in both of the buttons, but let's add this. And first of all, let's change the text. The text is Google. So Google. And then we have, we don't have the background color, so just remove the background color. And also the color of text is dark text color. So you can just use the dark text color. And you can refresh it. Yeah, it's somehow matching. And then we have the side, so that we can add the border. And you can just say border side. And the color of border is border color, I think. Yep. Okay, let's refresh it. So now we have the border also. And instead of just text, we have icons. So let's use wrap this raw widget and refresh it. So when you use wrap widget, it is a flexible widget, and it takes more the space that's available. So rather than taking the whole space, you can just reduce the main axis size to minimum. So now it will be just only wrapping the content. And also we have icon for the Google icon. So it's actually google.png. I've already saved in the assets. Yes, and then we have the horizontal spacing in between, which is of perhaps 10. Let me confirm. Yes, it's almost 10. So let's do it. It should be width. So yeah, it looks same. And then we have the last thing, which is let's wrap this thing so that it will be clear. Now we have another text, which is the text having multiple styles. So we can reuse this component that we created. Basically, we can copy and paste. We haven't created that component. So let's copy this. And it's exactly the same in styling. So let's paste this, comment this thing so that we can. And we can use this wrap widget. We can just copy and paste. And there is some spacing in between of this button, and it's also 16. So you can just use the same size box that we have used already. And since you can just simply change the text, and instead of this, we can just simply say this. And instead of the other one, which is prominent, we can just paste this, and you can remove this comment also. So well, you can see we have now this design. We have implemented it, and it's looking exactly same. However, the screen configuration of the current device it's absolutely different from the screen configuration of this, because it's really small in size. You can see really that this is 360 by 640. However, if I'm not wrong, this is almost somewhere around 720 into 1080 or something around this. However, not just this, we will also compare this design on different screen sizes to see if that really works on different screen configuration or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open another device, which is basically a tablet. So let's open the AVD. And then we have this emulator, which is basically, it's a tablet, and you can see there's a big difference in the screen resolution, and you can also see the screen resolution. It's this is the device on which we already run the app, and it's 1080 into 1920, and this is 1200 and then 1920. So obviously there's the difference in the screen configuration, and you can see when I run the app, this is the result. So you can compare these two. You can hardly find any difference. I mean, obviously these have different screen sizes, but you can see the ultimate feel of the app is exactly the same. It looks absolutely fine, and not looking in any way that it's broken or something. And let me open another thing. We can also test it on the iOS. And since the iOS has greater resolution, so we definitely want to see how it looks on the iOS. So let's run the app. Sorry, it should be on iOS instead. So you can see the result on iOS also, and you can see they all are looking same, and obviously they all have different dimensions and screen configuration, but the ultimate feel is still same. And we haven't done anything fancy in this. We just use a simple package, and we just we created all the design, and we implemented this design based on a single screen configuration that we have in Figma, and we haven't done anything out of the box for implementing this this responsiveness apart from the package obviously that we use. So that's the beauty of the package, and you can use that package, and you can easily implement the responsiveness in the design, and you can obviously save time by avoiding the boilerplate code. So this is it from this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, you should subscribe the channel so that you can enjoy these videos in the future. And I have a lot of videos on Flutter on my channel. You should try all of the videos. So thank you for watching.